Hello to everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, welcome. I'm Dr. Manuela Marescotti, and today I have interviewed Gairika Bhattacharya. She is a freelance editor and will share her experience before becoming an editor and also in her current role. She will tell us advice about the skills to work on to become an editor from her point of view, and also advice about writing quality papers. So watch the video until the end. Enjoy! Hello to everyone. Thank you for being with us today. Today we have an editor within the world of academic publishing. Do you want to pronounce your name? Because I don't think I'm able to pronounce it properly.
Yeah, sure. It's pronounced as Gairika.
Okay.
Gairika.
Gairika. Yeah, thank you. We met through Instagram, where I share information about the world of academic publishing. And I was very intrigued by her role because she's an editor, she's a scientific editor. She will tell us more about her job, but as a freelance, at least at the moment. While so far I met in general more frequent people working for a specific journal. That said, so I thought it would be very interesting to hear about her path, to know how you can enter this world of academic publishing. So welcome, and I would start to
So much,
first.
Manuela, for having me here today. Thank you
Okay.
so much for sending me the invitation.
Thank you to you. First of all, are you based now in India, right?
Yes, yes.
So I love that I can interact with, really with my job with the people from all over the world. I'm Italian and I'm based in UK. So basically it's just already a mix within myself. So which is your background in terms of education? What have you studied to go towards this?
Okay. My education journey began with a graduation in botany. So I have always been fascinated by the human brain. This led me to pursue my post-graduation in neuroscience from the University of Calcutta. While doing my post-graduation, I did a research project on the polymorphisms associated with low back pain, which further triggered my interest in learning more about the human nervous system and how the brain works. Right after my post-graduation, I worked as a genetic research fellow, project fellow for 2 years. My role was to research about mutations, robo and split mutations in lung cancer cases, and I also was responsible for managing a nationwide genetic disease database. So I have a kind of diverse educational background with botany, genetics, and neuroscience, and all of these have really helped me in my role as a scientific editor.
Okay, because basically, I think because the role of scientific editor leads you to read, I think, about different kind of topics, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay.
Like I work as a scientific editor in medicine, so there are a range of topics on which I'm expected to work on a regular basis.
Okay. And so when did you start then, to work, to focus on this aspect?
So my first professional experience was not as an editor, but as a writer. I
Mm-hmm.
began working as an academic writer in medicine and nursing. So as an academic writer, I was responsible for preparing dissertations, research papers like reports, essays, and care plans on medicine and nursing. During And I worked in this role for 3 years.
Sorry,
During the
You said writer, academic writer.
academic writer, yes,
And what is
academic writer.
really about that, if I can ask?
Okay, so as an academic writer in medicine and nursing, I used to assist students or maybe authors or professionals from my domain in help in preparing their essays and care plans for patients, or in helping them with their dissertation.
Okay.
So that was, or in helping them in preparing systematic reviews or literature reviews by providing them with a background of the work, or by helping them in the citations and providing them suggestions on how to improve their reports and essays on medicine, topics of medicine and nursing. So I worked as an academic writer for 3 years. Um, During the outbreak of the pandemic, it was that time when I decided to explore roles where I could contribute even more to the scientific community. So that was when I got the opportunity to work as a scientific editor for uh, a company, Cactus Communications. So my journey as a scientific editor began in 2020, and I
Okay.
have been working as a scientific editor since then in medicine, but my specialization is neurology.
I was asking about yeah, the academic writer because yeah, I'm not familiar myself with this kind of role. You have been both a researcher, right? Like as a PhD or no, a
No, no,
postgraduate. You said
it's
no PhD.
kind of
Eh,
no, it's kind of ghost writing. If I like, if I had to explain it to a lay
yeah,
person, it's kind of ghost writing, helping prepare research papers, essays, reports, or any type of academic content, but as a ghost writer, providing all suggestions and feedback, but as a ghost writer. So that was when I decided to explore other roles where I could contribute in a more uh, like I could have a greater impact on the scientific community. Like as a scientific editor, it's no longer ghost writing, and I can directly interact with the authors, and I can share my feedback and help them refine their text.
yeah, I I understand your point. Okay, no, it's very interesting because as I said, it's a different kind of path coming. I'm saying a different kind of path, but from what I at least I did. But and as I said, these these interviews are really meant to show to people that are interested in going into scientific publishing a bit. What is really about, but also how different people, the decisions that they made to enter into this world. Cactus is a company that recruits. So sorry, I don't want to say something wrong. Are you working now for Cactus or not? Completely
Yes,
different.
I am working
Ah,
for them as well. And last year, like December 2023, I joined another company as a medicine copy editor. And
okay,
currently, I'm exploring freelancing options as well.
okay. And this is basically these are companies that where you work for remotely, I suppose, right?
Yes, I work remotely, though Cactus is situated in India, but the headquarters are in a different city. So
Okay,
I work remotely from my home. And as of the other company that I work for, that is not in India, that is in the UK and in China. So
okay.
I work remote.
Okay. The aspect of working remotely, it's also something related to this world because in reality, you only need a computer to work.
Yes,
I'm saying that also because myself, I come from experience as a researcher in the lab. So for me, it was a big change going
yes.
to from a job where I had to be
That
there, but of
physically are
course,
there. Yes,
to make the experiment. So you said already, I think you started already to say that before that you like this kind of role because you can give your input, active input to the science.
right.
Are there other aspects that you really like? Also, or also, yeah, aspects and also which are actually, sorry, the tasks that are part of
Okay.
your,
So I'll begin with the tasks first. So, as a scientific editor in medicine, my task is not just to improve spelling, like not just to rectify spelling errors or punctuation errors or grammar, but it involves a lot more than that. Like as an editor, I need to ensure that a manuscript should adhere to the guidelines of the target journal that the author has selected. The text should be written in a way that follows the basic conventions of academic writing or scientific writing, because there are like major differences between informal writing and scientific writing. We cannot use conversational words in scientific writing. We cannot use contractions in scientific writing, like couldn't, can't, haven't. We simply cannot use these words when we are writing a research paper. So there are certain academic writing conventions, scientific writing conventions, and also every journal has a specific set of guidelines that the authors, the researchers should follow if they want to submit their manuscript to the journals. So as an editor, my task is to ensure that there are no errors, like no grammatical errors in the manuscript. The structure, the logic, and the organization of the text is clear. It is lucid. It is easy for people to understand. There are no jargon that a layperson will not be able to understand if they are reading the paper, and also to ensure that the research is relevant to the scope of the journal. So these are the basic tasks that I do on a regular basis. And if I talk about the best aspect of this role that really motivates me every day, then it will be the fact that I get to work directly with ESL authors on a regular basis. So ESL authors or ESL researchers are people who are non-native English language speakers. So primarily, I work with researchers from Korea, China, Brazil. So they are non-native English language speakers. Often, research journals, they reject a manuscript due to the lack of English proficiency, or they want every manuscript to be written in a way that it seems as if it has been written by a native English speaker. So that is where editing services really help ESL researchers. So working with ESL researchers on a regular basis, helping them refine their writing and pushing their writing one step closer to the publication is the best thing that I love about my job.
So, okay, through these companies, you work for journals. But do you usually like a time where you work more frequently with some journals, or for some, I don't know, there is a constant change? You are basically called by the company. I am sorry, maybe the question looks very naive, but really because I don't have any idea.
It's actually the question. So if you are a scientific editor who's working for a company, then you will not be working for a particular journal. You will be working with different authors, and they may select different journals for submitting their manuscript. So
Okay.
you will directly work with the authors. I receive manuscript from the authors, and the authors have selected a target journal for submission, and I make sure that the edited manuscript, the manuscript that I submit them, is submission ready, that it can be immediately submitted to the target journal for publication.
Okay.
So if an editor is working with a company, then the editor is not directly interacting with the journal, rather they are interacting with the authors, who may have selected a target journal or may not. They would probably want just editing of their text without any formatting requirements. Or if they want a formatting requirement, if they want their text to be formatted, then they specify the name of the journal that they intend to submit their manuscript in. Based on that, we need to format the text.
So it's basically a service that is provided to the authors, not to the journals.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Not to the journals.
Okay.
Yes.
And you also check also the kind of analysis data, or you don't look at that aspect?
Sorry?
Do you also look at the analysis, the data analysis, at how I mean, of course, I make these questions. Do you may look at the analysis, how the data are presented, also based on the guidelines of the journals, or you don't look at this aspect?
No, based on the guidelines of the journals, we always ensure that the edited manuscript adheres to these guidelines. If there's a missing component in the manuscript, like there are some journals that want a graphical abstract, there are certain journals that want specific things to be mentioned in the materials and methods section. And if those sections are absent in the manuscript, I always provide comments helping the authors identify the missing sections and providing them feedback on what they can do to enhance the manuscript. But I do not provide suggestions on changing the content of the manuscript, because
Okay.
that does not fall within the scope of editing. Uh, while editing, I ensure that the logic, the structure, and the organization remains clear, and there are no missing components in the text for the journal guidelines. Also, if there are any discrepancies in the text, then that is always pointed out.
Okay. Okay. I get. Okay. Yeah, I'm asking this because I am so my role within the Brain Communications Journal is to be a scientific editor. In fact, myself, I don't look at how like the writing aspect. But I focus that the data, the analysis are presented and also performed following the guidelines of the journal. So my check is more on the data and on the analysis. Also because the editor-in-chief is very determined to, like have reproducible data analysis that follow certain rules. So just that's why I think the whole journal does not look. Of course, the writing in terms the paper should be written in a certain way. I'm not saying, and I
Yes,
totally
it should
get
be readable.
yeah,
Yes,
and of course, since these are papers that you get from all over the world, is completely normal
right.
that you can not have a certain standard of clarity.
Yes,
But on the other side, we don't, me, myself, but also the journal does not edit, as I said, unless it's
right.
completely unclear, like I don't know, it's part of the process. I'm not saying, yeah, maybe it looks weird, but we don't
Yes,
edit the writing.
yes,
Um,
yeah, understandable. Yes.
Okay. So basically, and how many papers do you look at every week, just to have a rough idea of the workload?
Uh, uh, a paper, like one paper each day on
Okay,
most days, but that entirely depends on the length of the manuscript.
okay.
Like if the manuscript is more than maybe 5,000 or 6,000 words long, then it
Mm-hmm.
would require 2 days. Like it can be like, yes, there are urgent tasks as well. But I think manuscripts which have a longer word count require 2 days, because then we can like provide total
Okay,
attention to different aspects of the editing. But on a regular basis, one paper each day is what I am accustomed with. And
okay.
such papers, the length might range from 3,000 to 4,000 words.
Okay, yeah. I bet, yeah. Depends also on the complexity of the paper. Um,
Very good.
Look, yeah, it's very interesting, really. I think, while talking, thinking, like how different, the roles that are on on the paper, we say in Italian, on the paper that are the
Yes,
same, like then they are a bit different based on the context.
yes.
So just going towards the conclusion of this chat, I would like to ask you to say an advice on something to look in particular to people that would like to join the scientific academic publishing world. Any advice to approach this world?
Okay. So for anybody who is interested in being a part of the scientific editing and publishing industry, uh,
Mhm.
having a degree in the subject that interests you the most is, I think, it lays the foundation. Because if I had a degree in a different subject, I would not have like been able to work as a scientific editor in medicine.
Okay.
So having a degree in the subject that interests you and that you want to work for in the future is really a necessity. And people can begin practicing writing and editing while they are studying, like writing short abstracts or summaries or reports. This really helps because, like when I began working as a scientific editor, I was perhaps aware of only 30% of the conventions and rules based on my experience as an academic writer. So, practicing editing for 4 years has helped me gain more knowledge about the styles, the guidelines, the conventions. So, they should practice writing and editing, even like the shortest of essays or reports will help in the long run. And there are different universities that provide courses on manuscript editing and peer review and publishing ethics as well. So if they are really interested in pursuing this career, they can opt for these courses. Like I think the University of Chicago offers one such course. The University of San Diego offers another course, and several online courses are available as well.
Mm-mm.
They are available on LinkedIn. Uh, they are available in Coursera, in Udemy, in Class Central, and all of these courses. If they have a formal training in editing and publishing, that would increase their credibility when they want to begin their work. Uh, and I think having a portfolio will really help if they are serious about working as an editor. Like, don't wait for creating a website. Don't wait for uh, creating big good samples or anything. A simple Google document will do. A simple MS document will do with all of your writing and editing samples to begin with.
Yeah, yeah, okay, that's great. Yeah, I have to say I totally agree with the point of practicing writing because I think this helps you to also understand how to organize, to structure a document, how to logically.
Yes,
For me
and I would
personally,
like to add another thing. Sorry, yeah.
no, no, say.
Yeah, I would like to add another thing. Read scientific literature on
Mm.
a regular basis related to your subject, because if we read different types of articles, an original article, a systematic review, a case report, we'll be able to identify the structure these articles follow. And that will help in enhancing our understanding of how a paper needs to be written.
Yeah. Totally agree. Totally agree. Yeah, this helps. Yeah, on the side of the science and on the side of the writing, recognizing.
Right.
Yeah. So. No, I totally agree. I have to say it's also because not all the universities or not all the university courses. So as you said, there are courses, but as a default,
Yes.
called
But a few
courses
of them,
are
just
not
few of them.
provided by all the
No,
scientific
you know. Yes.
courses. So and since yeah, as submitting papers is something so international, there is no standard standard
Right.
standard way. But so yeah, you said if we don't have the chance, maybe automatically through our university courses, it's good to try to focus to see classes that
Yes.
where you can focus on that, maybe also remotely, or at least try to read as and write as much as possible.
Right.
And sorry, and then actually I have also a question, a last question for sorry, people actually, I said people that write papers. Are there things that you really drives you crazy, that you routinely find that could be improved?
Uh, One thing that I often find while editing article is if like often it happens that a manuscript has rejected a paper,
Mm-hmm.
citing several reasons. It might not just be the lack of English proficiency. There might be issues with the content of the manuscript or any other reason. So just don't get disheartened. That would be the first thing that I would like to say. Uh, use the feedback that the reviewers have provided. Use the feedback to refine your manuscript. uh, Identify the issues, address these issues, and then research other journals whose scope aligns with your vision and the research that you have performed, and submit to those manuscripts. Like, don't get disheartened if the manuscript has been rejected once or twice by a particular journal. Also, it is important to first check if the aim and scope of your target journal aligns with the investigation, the research that you have done, because I have come across several instances in the recently where I edited a few case reports. But while formatting the document, I found that the target journal is no longer accepting case reports. Like there are several journals which do not accept case reports. They might have changed their guidelines. So always thoroughly check the guidelines before you zero in on a particular journal for submitting, because the entire like all of your attempts will be futile if you finally find out that the type of article you have written is no longer being accepted by the journal. Also, following the basic not using jargon is I think a tip that I would like to suggest. Like if we make our research paper more complex, doesn't mean it will grab more eyeballs. Write in simple sentences, write in plain English. Do not use conversational words, but write in simple plain English to reach greater audience. And if you are not confident about the writing or the conventions of writing, do not hesitate to show your paper to your peers or seek feedback from your professors or mentors, because feedback always helps in refining the text.
Yeah, yeah. These are all precious advices because, yeah, and among them, yeah, the fact that it's important to be clear, the clarity, because really sometimes I, for example, read the legends where, you know, like
Yes,
they're so confused. They just say, in this figure, I show this,
yes,
that, performed with
yes,
this experiment. I done this analysis, you know, I don't know, because I'm saying that because in particular, you know, the papers are not always read that by the same, the person that is expert in your same field. So maybe there is someone that is not expert of that method that wants to understand
yes,
your result. So, and if you don't write it in a clear way, then which is the point to share, you know, like to
right,
publish the paper? I know that, of
right,
course, there is, unfortunately, a
yeah,
culture that in academia that is important to publish because it's important for the career. But still, you want to make a product that is can be used
right,
by the scientific community, not something
yes,
because otherwise it's gonna go against the author
yes.
because he's not gonna hardly read, not is not maybe gonna cite it, so it's not gonna be helpful at the end of the day.
If
So
your research paper does not reach the target audience, then it will not contribute to the community.
yeah, 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 yeah,
So
yeah,
this is a myth that using complex language or vocabulary or jargon means good research, or it means a good article. This is a myth.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, Gairika. I always say sorry.
Yes,
I'm very
that's
no, the
absolutely okay.
British pronunciation in general I don't get it, but other I'm
Mhm.
better in other languages, weirdly enough.
All right.
So, but thank you very much for your time and
Thank
for
you so much.
yeah, for sharing your experience, your advice. This is very, very precious. And
Thank you so much.
yeah,
And I'm looking forward to reading your content on Instagram, because I absolutely love them. I love how it explains research in such a clear and simple way.
thank you very much. Really, I have to say I would like to be more present, but really
Yes.
with the two kids, I'm reaching
All
the
right.
limit of saturation. So I'm trying. Yeah, I'm always start to make content with following a schedule, and then I get lost. Then I start, and then I
All
get
right.
so. So hopefully it's gonna be better in the next months. I always hope.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Thank you very much. And
Thank you
if
so much.
yeah, and if so, thanks to the audience as well. And if there are any comments to the video, so yeah, or if you have sorry questions for Gairika,
Yeah,
just write it in the comments in the video.
yeah,
Otherwise,
absolutely.
I will forward them to you. Okay.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Yes.
So bye to everyone. Thank you very much for watched this video. If you have questions for Gairika, write them in the comments. Also write me if you were already familiar with freelance editors. And I hope to see you soon in the next video. Bye!